Fractal Design Define XLR2 is here. So let's talk about what is different and what is new and how this case is. Just about anywhere in the case that you can mount a fan, you can mount a 120 or a 140, so we have a lot of options. Now the inside of the case is just a big empty playground for you to hang out in. It's less compartmentalized. And there's a lot of options, especially for water cooling. So that's what we really have going on here with the R2. With a lot of different cases, I was getting really tired of looking at them and being like, oh, I can't do this. Well, can I do this? No, you can't do that. I have to do this. With this one, it's like, yeah, we can do that. Do you want to mount your radiator in the front of the case? Yeah, you can probably do that. If you want to mount it on the top, okay, yeah, you can do that. So let's go ahead and take a full tour of this case so you can get some ideas of what you can do with it. Let's start by looking at the front. We've got a door and it's got a piano black finish. It does like fingerprints, but if you are careful, it'll be nice and shiny and pretty. When we open it up, we have 4 5 1/4 bays, and these come off very easily. You just pull the lever and then remove them, and then you snap them back into place and they stay there. Beneath the 5 1/4 bays, we have a door. You just press a couple spots, it opens. And behind that, we have a spot where you can mount 2 140 or 2 120mm fans, and that is toolless. Very simply, just comes right out. There's also a dust filter there because these are designed to be intake fans. On the inside of the door, you'll notice we have some sound dampening foam, and that's really the entire purpose of the door in the first place, is to dampen sound, not to look fancy. Now, beside the 5 1/4 bays, we have a fan control, and that'll support up to 3 fans, and there are 3 fan speeds there. Looking at the top, we have our microphone and headphone jack, large power button with LED, 2 USB 2.0 and 2 USB 3.0, and there's headers for that inside. Also on the top, you'll notice a spot where you can mount 2 140mm fans, or you can also mount 2 120mm fans. There are holes for each different type of fan. And right now there is already some sound dampening foam attached to these. All right, let's get into the hood and take off the side panels. You'll see bitumen material for sound dampening. And there's also a spot where you can mount the 120 or a 140mm fan, and there's a foam installed there for now. We have 4 5 1/4 bays, and you can mount whatever you want in there. Beneath that, we have 2 hard drive cages, and both are removable, and you can do a lot with these. First off, there are 8 hard drives, and you can mount either 3.5 or 2.5-inch drives there, so you can mount your SSDs there. You can take out the top drive and rotate it 90 degrees to allow better airflow, or you can take it out entirely and only use the bottom one. If you're doing that, there's something interesting you can do. You can unscrew the bottom one. Right there where there's a 140mm fan pre-installed, you can move that 140mm fan, and you can actually mount the hard drive cage there, and that will allow you to mount a large radiator in the front where we have our 2 140mm fans. Behind the 140mm fan, that's where you're going to install your power supply, and there is foam around where the power supply mounts, and there's also rubber feet that elevate the power supply so it's not on the bottom of the case. Beneath that, we have a very long dust filter that covers almost the entire length of the bottom of the case. The best solution for airflow is having intakes on the bottom and the front, and that's where the dust filters are installed, and then have all the air being pushed out the back where there are no dust filters, and out the top where there are no dust filters. Now let's take a look at our motherboard mounting options. This will support just about any motherboard on the market: ATX, Micro ATX, Mini ATX, or Mini ITX, I should say, eATX, even XL ATX motherboards. So those will all work right here. We have several holes for cable routing, and the grommets installed, rubber grommets. The rubber grommets are removable, so you can take them out if you like. We have 9 expansion bays in the back, so that's loaded. And we also have 1 additional 140mm fan pre-installed. So all in all, that makes 3 of the Silent Series R2 140mm fans, which are standard in all of the new Fractal cases, but those max out at around 1,000 RPM, give or take 10%. And then again on the top, you do have a spot where you can mount 2 of the 140mm fans. All right, let's look at the back behind the motherboard tray. Now you'll see we have a lot of room here, like quite a bit of room to route our cables. And there's several spots where you can use tie downs and that sort of thing. So it's just a really nice roomy case. Even the cable routing options are nice. No cheesy materials, it's all high quality stuff, and I like that. There's not a lot of bits that feel like they're gonna break off. It's just a decent case. So a lot of options, decent size. I mean, it's not as big as some of the cases I've seen out there, and you can do just as much with it. So that's nice. All in all, I recommend it. See you guys next time.
Oh, look at those muscles in your forearm.